Welcome to Tennis Sucks, a Pickleball podcast with Travis and Graham.
Like the name has to change, guys.
Yeah, I know. What the hell? What are we going to do?
Change it. No, it really has to be like strongly discussed. And I'm serious. Like I'm enjoying hitting tennis balls.
Graham and I
loving fucking hitting tennis balls. Graham, is this true? You guys played for 2 hours?
I don't remember. We hit a lot.
Graham couldn't stop. He couldn't get off the court.
You were loving it?
It's nice that I didn't lose anything that I learned for not playing in a month.
He also beat a bunch of people who tried to challenge you.
Did
Everyone.
You really?
Yeah.
No way. Like that poor British guy who we never saw again?
No. Rafe,
What?
Mario.
No way. You beat Rafe in tennis?
Yes.
Dan
They couldn't even hit a ball.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was insane.
He was whiffing. People, they're just not good at tennis. They all talk a big game. They used to play.
Hey,
they don't play anymore.
This is the world I've lived in. I understand it.
Yeah, like 6 dudes I took down
Yeah.
that are all tennis
I've
players.
met 35 guys that beat Federer. So,
Oh.
No, it's not true.
Oh,
They fucking can barely win at a public park. But they'll tell you.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
You got that.
That makes sense. Yeah,
Made it.
okay. Name change imminent then. I mean, we talked about bad calls was a good suggestion. I think we had that
I
at
like
the end
that.
of the year.
Bad calls is good.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
All right.
Can we get a vote for that, or do we have one?
We could put it in the YouTube comments if people
Would
want
you
to vote
please?
on it.
Yeah. Give us a name.
We had back of the rack as the leading one, but I think bad calls.
I think bad calls is better.
Makes a lot of sense for us.
Yeah, we fuck everything up.
But yeah, last week, that one's on me. We did sit here and record, and then I have this wonderful video of Graham talking, but no audio coming out of his microphone. So yeah.
Payment withheld.
Yeah, and he had a lot of takes that week too. So
He did. He was on fire.
Yeah,
That's what I'm so disappointed about. He was hot.
you were hot that week.
And I feel
Graham.
like are you there today?
No.
Damn it.
Oh,
I fucking knew it. I could feel it right. This guy's dead.
Damn it.
He's exhausted.
No, I'm not exhausted. I'm just not there.
You're just
I
not
mean,
Maybe
there.
it'll come.
You had all your bubble tea and everything ready to go.
That's the problem. He's had so much that now he's not getting the same feedback.
Yeah.
He needs a double dose.
Yeah.
all
The
been there
tolerance is
before.
too high. Damn. All right. Well, we'll dive back into some of that, and so people will hear what we missed. But this, I guess, let's kick off with a recap of Tucson. How was playing at Tucson? First of all, was it a nice venue?
It was a cool venue. I didn't remember it, but apparently we played Winter Nationals there, which was a tennis tournament when we were little. Donald remembered everything. Like, this is the entrance. This is where they serve popcorn. This was like, oh shit.
Wow.
So I had like some flashback. Like, I think I fucking played here a lot, but I did used to go to Tucson every year. But yeah, nice venue. The Tennis and Fitness Club was really, really pretty. A lot of courts, great fans. The PPA is doing a great job. Event after event, it's kind of like these are great events, and the turnout seems to be really good time after time.
Yeah.
Altitude was a little weird. Ball flew a little more than anticipated, and probably took a little longer to adjust than I gave it credit for. Alshon even said that he showed up a week early to practice, so you got to credit him there. That guy's super professional. And yeah, it was a great tournament, great venue.
Yeah. Okay. So you only played 2 events. You played singles and men's doubles.
Yes.
First of all, how was that not playing all 3 events? Did that help you, or you didn't like it?
No, I didn't like that. I didn't like it on the middle day. I felt like, I got a lot of practice in, but it's not the same as getting in pressure reps. It always changes a little bit. As soon as there's a little tension in the body, everything changes. So I would do that differently if I could, but it wasn't an option.
Yeah.
And singles was weird. My first match against DJ Young, we were both terrible.
Really?
Like, it was, oh my God, the quality was so bad. And then the second match is one where I really struggled with the altitude, but Jack was good enough to kind of showcase it. So I played sock second round, and I probably missed 9 returns. Just
Really?
fucking flying. And I was like, holy shit, I can't control anything. So that took time to dial in. Credit to him, though, he played really well. He's actually using a one-hander now, almost exclusively. No more two-handers.
Did he talk to you why he decided to change that up?
His backhand in tennis was his worst shot. Very bootleg, weird technique. And he's like, it just feels weird to me. And his one-e is pretty free-flowing. Like in tennis, he probably would have been better with a one-e also. One of the few cases. But he had a great run in singles, beat Jaume, who beat Donald, and then lost in the semis to Alshon badly. Played terrible in the semi.
Yeah.
Hunter Johnson was our singles winner again. He's looking great.
Yeah.
But the story there obviously was Federico Staksrud, his first run with the Adidas paddle. And he is, in my opinion, not going to be the same player unless they get him a different paddle.
Yeah. So, I think, is it fair to say that you think that it was exclusively that the paddles change?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. It's a shocking differential. In fact, we knew he was playing, and Donald and I were in the players' lounge, like, hey, let's go watch Fetty. So we get up and we walk by and we hear like 5'9". Okay. Tom Evans, the Australian kid, is playing with the new Flamingo, which is a very fast paddle. He was a good tennis player, so we're like, this could get close. Tom can play really well. And without seeing another point, I heard the ball come off Fetty's paddle twice, I think. And I looked at Donald and said, he won't win another tournament until he switches.
Wow.
It's not going to happen. And sure enough, the ball was coming off so slow. Sweet spot seemed really small, like just inconsistent response constantly. And then even in the mixed, he just wasn't nearly as good because he couldn't take over. The ball was slow.
Wow.
And it's an amazing thing, but like almost a validating feeling because you reference how big of a fucking factor that is.
Yeah.
And to see the guy who's essentially undefeated, wins the first tournament of the year easily in singles, and got routed first round.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say routed, but lost in 3 and didn't have a chance.
What paddle is he currently using? Is it the new Adidas paddle?
Yeah, it's a new one. So they have like I think a line of 3 new Adidas paddles, and I'm sure they'll work with him. I'm sure they're putting in a lot of hours and R&D and so forth. But whatever it is that they're doing is no bueno.
Right.
And I think that they do delaminate a little bit because Mari Humberg sounded way liver, way faster than Fetty's.
Yep.
But I don't know if that necessarily means it gets better because some paddles, when they delam, they have no feel, like 0.
Sure.
And Fed has a lot of feel. He probably the best drop in the game from consistency standpoint. Like he doesn't roll it, but didn't fucking miss it either.
Wow.
And so, yeah, he didn't look comfortable. You could tell he was frustrated, made some audible comments regarding the paddle. And, that's the way it goes.
So he must have got paid a lot of money then to take that contract, I'm guessing.
Like the memes of Pickleball, he was wiping his tears with his money.
Okay, got it.
Like, fucking what's he supposed to do? Of course he's going to take that. And he should. And again, good enough company, obviously a very large company, they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna get a good paddle.
Yeah.
It just might take a little while.
Yeah. Interesting. Who's worse affected by that type of paddle? Do you think like a men's singles game, or do you think like Mari playing doubles like less affected by a paddle switch like that?
I don't think I can make like an honest comment on that one where I know for sure. I think it's just if you can feel confident with it or feel like the ball is at least responding the way you expect, even if it's slower. But when the ball is not responding as you anticipate, it's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Right. Yeah.
And then obviously like Dylan is no longer with Selkirk, so he used the Yola this week and he looked like a different player. Semis of singles, which hasn't happened in a while. And then in mixed, he and Kate Fahey beat Fetty and Catherine, which 3 weeks ago at the Masters, you've been like, oh, that's a fucking rout. And instead it was the opposite. And I heard Federico talking to Dylan in the players lounge saying, man, your combination is so much better with that. You're going speed up off the bounce, attack. And it was just like, boom, boom.
Right.
And it was funny because it's like, that's what yours used to look like too.
Yeah.
But not anymore.
That's funny. So Dylan's using which paddle now? He
was using the Magnus. And so that's the Tyson McGuffin one. And it's a great paddle. They make great paddles.
The S4.
Yes.
We've got one here.
No, the S3. He was using the 3.
I hit the S4 tonight. Magnus. It feels a lot like it feels like an 002 with a lot of spin.
So that's the biggest thing that I noticed when Ben was playing with it. It just seemed like it was spinning a ton.
It's stiff.
But I've heard that the whole face is a sweet spot. There is no variation in the ball.
Good sweet spot.
Yep.
But to me, I'm sure it breaks in, but it feels stiff to me, which isn't a bad thing. But it feels solid. It feels like a solid paddle.
So
from the Dwell owner, that's a pretty good endorsement.
I mean, their S3 feels great too.
So. Yeah. No, they're great.
I don't know if the S4 is some huge upgrade, but it's nice.
I think Proton's done a great job too, honestly. Like their Flamingo is a very, very good paddle. It's a very high performing paddle in terms of power, spin, definitely up there with the best paddles. And they actually, Pickleball Studio put something out. They have a diving board. Did you see that? How the foam works? As opposed to a floating core, it's a diving board, which ultimately makes the ball go faster, but it's not as consistent as a floating core, which I found interesting. But they fucking improved their paddles so much.
Interesting. So it seems like the kind of war in the paddle paddle industry is kind of leveling out a little bit as companies are starting to kind of like
no question
even out. And so coming to the doubles game, you and Donald won your first game against, who were you playing?
We played De La Rosa and Chuck
Taylor.
Chuck Taylor. There you go. Thank you. And yeah, we played well. Donald's serve and forehand were by far the two most dominant strokes. And it sets up a lot. It changes a lot of the dynamic of the game. And then we played Alshon and Diescu.
Right.
We played really well the first game. They did not, but we came out hot. And then when they settled in, I fucked up. It was on me. I was talking a lot early, very hyped. And I needed to just shut my mouth. And I kept talking. And I'm not proud of it. I do find Alshon yell, come on, super fucking annoying. But,
Okay.
But needless to say, he played better as I talked, so credit to him. And it's usually the other way around. I play better when I talk, but I played worse. And he shat on me after that. So
Sure.
fucking
Yeah, I
credit
saw
to
it
him.
that you posted. That doesn't normally happen. So how does that work? You think it just depends,
It's a
whether or not
double-edged sword on that one. Like
yeah.
usually talking because I'm feeling confident, and I think in this case I was talking because I wanted to piss him off.
Right.
And I think that was working early, and I had him pissed off. I just needed to shut up after that. Once I
Right.
had him a little rattled, it was like, okay, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And Donald kept saying to me, like, lock in. Basically, like, shut the fuck up. And so, we talked about it after. It's like a little bit's good because, you play better like that.
Yeah.
But then once you have your achieved goal,
Right.
silence.
Like pull off the gas a little bit.
Yeah. And especially like in a hostile fashion like I did. It was dumb. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily proud of it, but it is what it is.
Yeah. There was, in terms of games that had like a lot of shit talking, I saw some clips from Rafa Hewitt against
This fucking guy, man. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's great.
No, he's not.
I thought
I
it
mean,
was
he is, but he's a fucking bozo.
Yeah, but you want to go watch him play.
Because he cheats. He cheated by 3 inches, and then when he won the next point, said, "Ball don't lie."
Yeah,
it's
that bit
ridiculous.
was bad.
It's fucking
absurd.
ridiculous. And he does it over and over. And like,
Yeah.
I like Rafa. I find him very amusing. But don't fucking cheat by a foot and then act like, you were done wrong because the ref overruled it. Like, come on, man. Stop
Yeah.
fucking cheating.
Who was he playing against? Though? Is it Matt
Jay
Wright?
DeVilliers,
Oh, Jay
who
DeVilliers.
tried to fucking body bag him, or Nasty Nelson with a serve at 10-9 game 1 after it happened. And then Rafa complained for 5 minutes about that. What about that, ref? What about that? What do you do about that? Like, what? I lost the serve. And look, with all due respect to Rafa, I don't generally mess with the country bumpkin guys. Jay's a big boy. I don't think I'd fuck with Jay. Not if
Yeah.
they'd ever fight. But if they did, I'm taking Jay. Jay wins.
That's funny. And then this was also the first time we get to see Ben playing with his first of potentially a few partners.
Yeah.
This time was with Tadio. Didn't make it to the gold. How did you think that they played? Did you watch their games at
Him
all?
and Hayden Patrick, when you mean.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was Patrick
Yeah, it
Wynn?
was Patrick
My
Wynn.
bad. Not
Did you
Tadio.
watch, Graham?
No.
Well, I'll chime in then.
Yeah.
Damn, I missed 2 weeks ago, Graham.
Yeah.
That guy
We
was
all
hot.
missed 2 weeks ago.
Too bad we
He
don't
was
have that
on
recorded
fucking
somewhere.
point. It's all right. When the MLP rules things comes up, it's your time to shine, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they looked great. And obviously, that shit takes time.
Yeah.
It's really hard, especially when you have 2 guys that are that dynamic and that many options.
Yeah.
But it did look clear to me that they had some trouble figuring out who would take the middle.
Yep.
I think it's very important for Ben's rhythm to kind of know what's happening and feel like he has his little algorithm, as he calls it. And it just looked disoriented to me.
Mm.
But, look, it's not like they played bad. They made the semi.
Yeah.
But, it also speaks to how many great players there are now on the men's side. The parity's incredible. There's
Yeah.
fucking 12 guys who can legitimately win
Right.
every week. And, that makes the sport way better from my view as a fan, even as a player, because it's like, there's just a lot of good fucking dudes.
I mean, I think it's more interesting now, especially now. It's good timing because we'll see less new names in the main draw of PPA as everyone has to be UPA signed.
Yeah.
And so the
More
draws
rivalries.
are going to be the same people all the time. And so if you were only seeing the same people, it's like you're watching the same event every week. So being able to have teams that actually are
Newbies.
having a shot at winning,
okay,
it just it creates different quarter
You're saying
semis.
that the 12 guys who can potentially win it.
Yes, exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
Watching
yeah.
the same final over and over and over and over sucks.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, Fed Djokovic. Okay, I'm tuning in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But at the same time, it's great to have some variation. And I think at the end of the year, there will be 2-3 teams that, the cream rises to the top. they'll be the best teams. But right now, that's not clear. I don't think it's clear at all.
Did Colin play in Tucson?
No, he played Australia.
That's right. He's in Australia.
So he did not play Tucson.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about Australia, but just wrapping this bit up, you were talking before the pod, there was a men's doubles team that you think is going to go really far, and that was it Allshar and Daskew? I think you were just hyping them up as a team. I think saying that they,
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, first of all, Diaskew's proven himself to be a fucking very, very, very good player. And he's won now in the past year with Cardio, and he always plays left.
Mhm.
He's won with Tardio, he's won with CJ Klinger,
Yep.
and now he's won with Alshon.
Yep.
Like the guy is, you cannot,
right.
it's not the prettiest, which is kind of interesting because it's like, it's very methodical, not a lot of errors. But he's just a great competitor too and fucking wins. And I think Alshon is, you know, right along there with Fetty. He takes this very, very seriously. This is his job, and he intends to maximize his potential. And you can see that in everything he does. What I noticed really clearly playing against him is attacking from certain spots. He's played so much with that South Florida group that he was sitting on the patterns. Like he had already predetermined it. So he was, I don't want to say he's programmed, but that's what happens when you play with really high level all the time. And so I think those two together, considering how professional both of them are, how they're both seemingly getting better and better, that's going to be a fucking tough team to beat because they're really long as well. Like so fucking long.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would wager that they're a top 3 team by the end of the year.
Yeah. Makes sense. We did see, I think there was a couple of other new teams, mixed teams. Anna played with Hayden this time.
No, Anna played with Deckel. Hayden played with Rachel.
My bad. Yeah.
And they I mean, I love fucking Hayden, but Hayden played the worst match I've ever seen him play by a long way. He played, they played, who the fuck was it? Oh, they played Alshon and Tyra Black. And I think it was like 2-1 or something.
Wow.
It was just terrible. And they had no chance. Alshon just took the court over. Tyra Black is the most improved female to me.
For sure.
And it was awful. He was missing fucking flicks out of the air by 12 feet.
Interesting. Yeah. Curious. I wonder why.
Altitude, maybe.
Altitude,
you
paddle.
think so? Yeah.
So it's a livelier paddle, and then maybe you can control it. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But it's just a bad day, I think.
All right. So yeah, you mentioned Australia. So the PPA had a pretty significant event, and it's not the first event they've ever done in Australia, but this felt like a milestone event because they shipped a lot of the US players out there for this.
Yes.
So it wasn't open. They just signed Tom Evans and another
his
Australian,
I forget her name, but
person. Yeah. But it ended up being a US final, basically. All the US players.
I think the women's singles wasn't. It was a Aussie girl.
Yes.
But other than that, all US players. Which it will continue to be. Colin played with Jay DeVilliers. I think they got 3rd. And then the men's final was Tardio and McGuffin versus Klinger Duong, I believe.
Yes, right.
And I think they won in 5. Great game though. And then the mixed was interesting because it was Tyson and Lacey against Tardio and Irvin, who I would have taken for sure. And they were up 2 games. I think up early in game 3, and I was like, oh, this is a fucking rout. And sure enough, I walked away. I came back. I was in Atlanta with Donnelly. He was like, they lost. Like, shut the fuck up. It's not possible. No, you have, and I kept like, you have it wrong. No, I don't. Yes, you do. You have it wrong. And I'm, of course, considering we're bad calls, my bad call came to fruition again, and I was wrong. Just like I was wrong that the girlies would have an over 500 record now against Anna Lee and Catherine. Since that moment, they have gotten shellacked in the matches, particularly this one. They got fucking shellacked.
Yeah, it's a shame. And I also didn't get a chance to get a girlie's hoodie or like sweater. That you did? You got one?
Yeah, she sent me one.
I got
Rachel.
2.
You did? You got 2 of them? And I'll tell you, it was amazing. They were like hotcakes. People were going around, like women, older women were like, you got the girly sweater. That's so cute.
Yeah.
It is. And like other players had ordered them. Like, how'd you get it? I was like, oh, Rachel sent it to me. I was like, the fuck? What on me?
Preferential
like,
treatment.
See? He knows we're.
Yeah.
Can we pull this off? What are we going to brand?
What?
What are we going to brand?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do it Donald. I got a black, half black, half white. I'm the white dude on the black side. He's the black dude on the
ebony and ivory.
That's not going to go well.
Nice.
That's not good.
That's funny.
Yeah, it'll sell some, but it's not like the girlies. The girlies is very marketable.
I think you guys need to lean into this a villain story. I think that like the Pickleball needs like a villains.
Okay.
like persona, but like that really leans into it. You know,
Okay.
there's people that we don't like because they're assholes, but I think that people don't. You need the villains that people root for. You know.
That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
But I
It's
feel
hard
like
to get
you're
I can
in
get
that.
close. There's a certain
Yeah.
like demographic, like the 40 plus balding life sucks guys. They love me. And then of course, gay men fucking love me.
Of
And
course,
then,
yeah.
elderly black women. Those are my 3 top choices.
Well, we know who we got to put in the focus group now for your new branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the older black ladies would eat my sweaters up. You know,
Probably.
half black, half white, and then like a gray area at the bottom. Like that's my Latin gene, or maybe this is the mixed portion. You know, someone said to me like, "How much do you love that your partner's a black guy?" I was like, "I love that it gives me more jokes. I've got about 30 more jokes a day that I can say."
That's so funny. But yeah, Graham, I guess we'll figure out some way to once we change the name, we'll release a line of shirts, maybe. You know,
Okay.
we've got some bad call
Yeah,
shirts.
I think bad calls is really good. You could do a lot with that. With the
I
shirts.
believe. I think so too.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good. I do get a lot of merch requests, and people are pissed.
People do want to rep us, and we got to do it.
do.
Yeah, we got to
We have
launch it.
loyal listeners that, for some reason, tolerate us, and they're like, "Oh, you might as well listen to these motherfuckers again."
Oh, speaking of, Graham has a wonderful
Ooh.
story to tell. Wait, what are you gonna?
Wait, where's your hat, by the way?
I think I told. Oh, I forgot it again.
Oh my
Damn it.
god!
I forgot.
Bad calls.
Did I tell you this story or no?
No.
So I'm downtown and I'm wearing the St. Pete Athletic shirt. And the guy walks up and he says, "Where is that place? I'm looking for an indoor facility." And I said, "Oh, it doesn't exist yet. It's coming soon." And he's like, "Damn." And I go, "But if you want some good play, I recommend you go to Crescent Lake." And he goes, "I already been there. So I came to town." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "My wife and I drove here from St. Augustine to go see Crescent Lake because Tennis Sucks is our favorite podcast."
No fucking way.
And I go, "I'm a big fan too." And the guy was like, "Yeah, I love that show." And I was like, "Well, that's probably the best play you're going to get in the area." And then the guy just left.
Whoa, you didn't even say?
I couldn't believe it. It was awesome.
What is wrong with this fucking human being? Can you please? That is the weirdest. Like, I understand maybe for a minute, like play coy, but then be like, "Yeah, that's
By the
me.
way,
By
that's
the
me.
way, that's us. We do that."
You know, Graham doesn't need the fame.
Shout out to Mark. I think his name was Mark, and his wife. Forget his wife's name. And he also said, this is funny too. He's like, "Yeah, I kept asking everyone there if they knew Travis Rettenmeyer. And every single person said, no, we never heard of him." And he was like,
Where was it?
"At Crescent Lake."
Oh, fuck.
And
Ouch.
he's like, "No, but this is the funniest part.
Stings.
Everyone was just fucking with him.
Oh.
Like, talk about true fans of our podcast. They all knew, but they all just like, no, who is
Travis
that?"
Redmine, never heard of him.
Rat.
He said they all did it.
There's a
And,
guy, Alan, here.
and finally he caught on that they were just messing with
Oh,
him.
that's hysterical.
Man, what a terrible time. He comes in, everyone lies on the cause, meets the host of the podcast. He lies to him too. He's going to be like, "Screw you
I
guys."
can't believe you didn't fucking tell him. That's just so bizarre to me. Only your brain works in that fashion. That's why, I regretfully adore your oddness, but oh shit. Nice shot. That's
Yeah.
amazing. There was a couple, actually. I went to St. Augustine, which is an awesome city, by the way. If you've never been, go. Fucking cool. And they kept writing me and saying, they're like, "This is the park people play and you should go over there. They would love it, blah, 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 blah." And I just didn't have time. But yeah, maybe it was the same people.
Damn, I've been to St. Augustine too. I couldn't find any good courts there.
Yeah, they wrote me
They're
about
empty.
the park to go to.
All right. So,
Rule changes. Let's start with that.
yeah.
Because
So,
that's the big one, the scoring change.
the 2
6
weeks ago,
people.
Graham, that we need to bring back out. We had a great conversation about the changes to Major League format. And so I think we just were kind of running through some of the pros and cons of like what went down, why rules were changed. I think the biggest one we started with is rally scoring. So Major League is going to traditional scoring and are moving away from rally scoring, except in the Dream Breaker. So if
So
you
one
can
single
remember,
game to 11 now instead of a game to 25.
right? So talk us through, Graham, now that people can hear you. What was the real debate there between why they wanted to move to traditional?
I think Zane did a long thing on this, right? Because Zane was pretty upset about it too.
Yep.
He was upset about
He's
the
not a
scoring,
big
yes.
fan. I'm not a big fan either. I know that we tried some time ago to move everyone over to rally scoring, which
Yep.
I thought was the right move
Yep.
a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And we've obviously gotten a lot of new fans since then. But I'm a big fan of rally scoring overall. I think for gambling, we've talked about it's better. It's really good for people that don't know pickleball well to understand how the scoring works. It's less of a barrier to entry into the sport. It's important. So I'm a big fan of rally
And
scoring.
the time is a big
And the time, yeah.
Mhm.
You know basically how long the match is going to last. There's not like a huge variance between game to game.
Yep.
And their argument is a game to 25 with rally scoring takes on average 21 minutes. A game with side out to 11 takes 23 minutes.
The
Well,
average
yeah,
is not relevant.
average is not, first off, that's ridiculous. 25 to 11 points and it's still shorter. Like, not a good argument, I don't think.
Right.
And secondly, yeah, the problem is you can have a game to 11 that goes 45 minutes.
Yes.
So yeah, it's great that the average is there, but I don't know if it's going to be a 6-minute game or if it's going to be a 45-minute game. That's a
Right.
real problem,
Right.
especially for TV.
But the one benefit is that you have to have a cohesive scoring system across all leagues and all. I think that's really important.
I agree with
And
that.
I recognize the idea, as we discussed, that there's these new fans that are going to turn it on Fox Sports and be like, oh, I get it. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, got it. But I do think that there's an enormous amount of these current recreational players that never ever watch, and it would deter them to go on and be like, what the fuck is this? I think.
I don't know what's more important, grabbing people who don't really play or grabbing people who already play that for some reason don't tune in yet, but
I'm
they're
just going
going
with
to
the
at some
already
point.
play.
Right.
That's where I'm at with it.
I mean, the hard part is that I think the understanding the score from anyone who's like just joining is
The worst thing ever.
impossible.
It's the worst fucking thing
horrible.
ever.
I'm embarrassed to try to teach it to people. Like I started to
No.
be like, I'm sorry, yeah, and then there's a third number, and the third number
Yeah.
goes to 2.
I
and
played
it
for weeks
switches.
before I had it right. Before I like actually had it right.
Yeah.
Like I get a pit in my stomach when someone's like, "How do you keep the score?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh no,
And
not
you're like,
this
but this only
again."
counts on the very first serve.
Yeah.
Then we change it to, you know, it's just,
Yeah, it's hard. It's a. I don't say it's a bad scoring system because we're all used to it and we're all used to the rhythm of it. But once you know it, it's great. It's fine.
yeah.
But yeah, that learning curve for it for the casual person who draws interest for 1 minute, and this
Right.
has been always my argument against it. If I'm a fan, let's say it's cricket, and they put up the rules, I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn shit. I'm old. I
Right.
want what I know, and I want it to be simple. And if it takes longer than 15 seconds for me to understand it, I'm out. Thank you. And
Yeah.
that might be because I'm dumb, lack intellect. All these things are true.
Yeah.
But I'm also your standard.
I'm the
viewer.
same way. I'm the same
What's
way.
the general take from other players have you spoken to? Is it a big point for a lot of people, or are they kind of just
Huge
like,
variance on what people think. Huge.
I mean, it's history now. What does it matter? Now
Yeah.
that we've switched everything. We switched collegiate, which was a blast, I thought. We switched minor league pickleball, which was a blast, playing rally. And now we switched major league
Well,
pickleball. So
But it's not over yet. Again, like if they have this and it, feels bad. Let's
yeah,
just go with that word. It just doesn't feel right. Then maybe that argument will be brought back. Just like they've
Yeah.
changed the scoring system consistently. Maybe it's like, you know what? Yes, all the current players, the majority like this particular scoring system, but for us to have the drama we want, for us to fit into TV time slots, and for us to appeal to, essentially all fans, new and old, we have to do this scoring system.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it definitely feels like a bit of a monarchy when it comes to rules and how pickleball's future is going. It feels like there's just small handful of people
Deciding
are
it all.
dictating and making the decisions for 40 million players. I mean, I guess that's how it has to be, but it's
Yeah, I don't see
frustrating.
an alternative to that.
I don't like that.
Well, I mean, again, I'm going to play devil's advocate just because I like to argue with you, but all those people have the right intention, I think, and they're just doing it the best way that they see fit.
Mm.
Now, maybe the alternative is what? You do a focus group of 1,000 people per large community, or what? do you-
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I think it would have been good if they did that just to gauge like how off base it is. You know, if you do like a big survey of players,
Yeah.
and you can segment it by people who compete, people who watch pro pickleball, people who don't, and then you find that like almost unanimously people are like, yeah, I hate traditional scoring or whatever.
Right.
It makes me not want to, like, I loved playing Major League Pickleball format, and it makes me not really want to do it. Believe
I
that
don't
or
feel
not.
that way at all.
Like, I don't get as excited because I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm going to
Mm.
stay on this side the whole time. This is my
Yeah.
specialty. I'm
Right.
here. And these
That is
games
the
are
thing that was-
games are going to take very long.
Yeah, the specialty sides thing was definitely a unique point about it, and obviously we won't see that
I
now,
didn't
right?
like that.
You didn't like that part
That's
of
the,
it?
that's the
I
biggest
hated that.
complaint against
I hate it.
Really?
rally scoring, but I personally enjoy it.
And then the other thing I hate about it as a player, and again, it would change right away if we did it in both, but the rhythm is very different. And like, I'm not saying you play any different. I'm not trying to play any different,
Mhm.
but the sequence feels very different. There is a different rhythm to the matches. So it's,
Yeah,
we're so accustomed to playing one way. with traditional scoring.
Yep.
And then it's like, God, this feels fucking fast.
Yep.
And sometimes I think it does create worse play.
Yes.
And it would be nice to, see people kind of settle in and make tactical changes. And I think there's other ways to do that. But, for right now, this is the one they see fit.
Yeah. The other change that we had was the additional 2 players per roster. So we're moving to 6-player rosters just for Premier. So Challenger still retains the 4. I think that was there any drawback to that decision, Graham, in the conversations, or was that pretty much a universal agreement that we needed expanded rosters?
The Premier owners love it.
Yep.
So there's 16 of those, right?
Yep.
And there's only 6 Challenger.
Yep.
I don't think the voices of the Challenger team owners is as important at the moment as Premier, which makes sense. And so the people that maybe weren't happy with it didn't have much of a voice, so it wasn't really much of an argument.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And the Challenger argument against that being that they're going to get less quality players because...
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's, what is it? 6 times 72? Or no, 16. Yeah, we're going to get the very, very bottom of the 140 signed UPA contracted players.
Right.
Well, yeah,
that's tough.
Especially you have to have a signed player now. You can't have people coming in from the APP like previously.
Right.
It's going to be
a very small
off.
set amount closed
Right.
off.
I think they have to do that. And in time, all the best players, not that they already aren't, but there are a few that you can select oh, he's really good. They're really good. Blah,
right.
blah. And, hopefully that goes away like ABA, NBA, and everybody's PPA.
Yeah.
And I think it will.
Does this mean there's a chance you'll go back up to Premier, Trav, you think?
No, I'll stay with the Smash.
Okay.
Because of the fact that, I was their top pick. I think they have me for a couple years, and I'll stay that way.
Okay.
And I prefer that, obviously.
Nice. Yeah. So you could make a choice to recruit players locally and have a local team. Maybe you could make the Florida Smash the Savannah Bananas of Major League Pickleball.
Travis, will you do dances for us in the
No,
middle of the match?
I'm the worst fucking dancer.
That's the
alive.
Bananas people aren't great either. They
No,
definitely.
it's not that I'm not great. I'm embarrassing.
That's what they want.
Whitest fucking guy.
That's what we want.
On the planet.
How do you think
I
Donald will feel dancing?
Look, he's probably a much better dancer than me for obvious reasons.
Oh, here we go. That's one of the 30 he's been holding.
Yeah.
yeah.
The one I use a lot is he hits a forehand really fast, and I'm like, that's just because of the melanin advantage. I actually swing harder, but your melanin advantage gives you a 25% increase in power.
Wow, nice.
It's true.
Excellent.
Yeah, I would dance, Graham. It would just be humiliating, but I would do it.
Okay.
Might loosen you up, might make you play better.
I'll be the guy on the stilts.
Right.
You would fucking crack your head open for sure. You'd be dead.
So people want to see.
I'm just
giving the fans what they want.
It's like with the fucking movie where the clown falls on his head.
Right. It's like
Go
that.
up and bump his head.
Oh, Humpty Dumpty?
No, for fucking Christ.
Is it that?
Like 22 years
The
old.
Humpty Dumpty movie.
I don't know.
No, it's Billy Madison. It's Billy Madison.
Oh,
That's what it
yeah.
was. Yes. Have you seen Billy Madison?
No.
Christ. All right, never mind.
I had a barista today that I asked if she's seen The Big Lebowski. Never heard of it.
Speaking of
forgot.
Old Man with Jeff Daniels on Hulu, great fucking show. Give it a look. He's good, dude.
Yeah, he's great.
I love fucking Jeff Daniels. The one thing about the 6-person rule that I hope we get some trials with is subbing in players so that they don't have to pick their 4 and then the other 2 sit. I would love to see some subs. Subs would be cool.
Yeah.
And
because then you actually start making calculated decisions during the match where you can be like, hey,
and
actually.
they can be questioned. You know, it's more storyline.
Yeah.
And then, Graham was saying something like if you get injured and you're out for a match, you're potentially out for that event and the following event.
Yeah.
God, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I got to fact check that, but it's at least that. It might be more than that.
Damn.
But the one thing,
it's a heavy punishment if you go out with injury.
Okay.
But we definitely only just barely have enough signed UPA players to fulfill the amount of rosters that we've got available now, right?
I think they just signed 12 more players.
Yeah, they signed 12 more. We had 125. We were going to use 120.
Okay.
I think we're now up, he's right, roughly around 140-ish, 136.
Okay.
So we have some extras. But they're signing, we got 2 or 3 local Crescent Lake players that got signed in the last week.
Yep.
Right.
So, hey, if you want to travel the country and play some pickleball, get a hold of somebody at UPA.
Graham's working hard for that next contract.
Yeah.
I'd play half my event with Graham just for fun.
oh, that's
I
Right,
hope
you
right.
somebody,
play with
I
me,
hope
though.
somebody
He'd get
hears that,
mad.
puts it in.
He'd get really upset. He'd be like, "You treat me like shit out here."
Is there like, yeah, can I get a contract for like 6 events?
That'd be great. I would love that, Graham. We'd have a fucking blast. We could mic it up every time, and you want to do a Savannah banana, what the fuck it is? We'll crush that shit.
Amazing.
And get some good merch.
Were there any other significant changes that I remember? There's obviously lots of dropping and trading that's been happening. I know that Arizona Drive was bought out by Proton. They've just
Yes.
rebranded to the Phoenix
Oh, they
Flames.
rebranded? I didn't know this.
Yeah, they
The
just
Phoenix
became
what?
the Phoenix Flames.
That's cool.
The worst logo you've ever seen.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, I'll show you.
easy. I didn't see it yet.
Let's
And I don't
see.
think it was Proton. It was one of the owners of Proton or a group that's associated with Proton.
This is their new logo.
Okay.
I don't mind that.
It's been
I think it's
chat
cool.
GPT'd a couple times, possibly.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen, that's my sponsor that you're sabotaging.
could use some work. It could use a little work.
My opinions do not reflect.
If I thought it was dog shit, I would say it, but I don't think it's that.
Okay.
I mean, considering our logo for several years, everything looks
It does beat ours.
yeah, I mean, it is a logo, so that works. Yeah. So the newly named Phoenix Flames just traded to get Dizon and McGuffin from the Orlando Squeeze. So they traded Frazier, I think, and maybe someone else I forget the name of. So I know that there's a lot of trades and moves happening.
I would have said that was a good trade, which it still might be, but Dylan playing with the Yola, like I said, is not the same Dylan.
Right.
Did you see the rumor that Dylan and Anna Bright are dating or something's going on there?
So I can tell you a little bit about this.
Oh, did you put it out?
No, it got posted this morning by pickleball.com, and
Not
no
buying
less
it.
than an hour after it was posted was the whole thing removed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not true.
Pickleball.com's edgy.
I don't think
I
that
don't know
edgy is
how.
just more misguided. Like
They
that's
have the into everything, you would think.
for exactly for a company that's owned by the PPA, the people that are writing this stuff are in and amongst the players every tournament.
I think they're trying to be edgy. I'm serious.
Yeah, it might be.
I
But
mean,
there is like a fascination with Anna Bright. There's a lot of these younger pickleball dudes that are really fucking into Anna Bright.
Well, she's very what do you call it? Like I don't
she's
know.
hot.
She's hot. Yeah, that's one.
I'm
Sorry, she's overtly like in a funny way.
Yeah.
Sexual.
Yeah,
Like she'd say, I
I've
wanna have
taken it
your
too far, though, I
babies.
think.
DTF.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Team Dylan Frazier.
She was wearing this really short Yola skirt one day, and then it was like, "You're single now," and she's like, "I am single," you know. And
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that.
Stuff like that. But then since that door opened, I've just like fucking ripped the whole wall off, and now I tell her, like, Travis, shut the fuck up, basically.
Oh,
Never
no.
stopping. Anna.
Oh no.
That's funny. Yeah.
Actually, Anna and I are dating. I wanted to make that announcement here on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. You saved it exclusive.
I was hoping to change the
I
name
don't
to
see
Balls
that.
Out before we did it.
Ooh.
balls out.
But hey, Anna, see you next week.
Oh man. Oh, that's half
She's
our
out of your
listenership
league.
gone.
She is.
Yeah, mine too, buddy. Don't worry. I think that's why she's like, okay, it was funny once. Now
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
old.
You
balding,
ruined
and
it.
Shut the fuck up. So I was like, you're looking good, Anna. She goes, stop. And then that was like the first host, stop it. Now it's like, shut up. How about the halftime show? Anybody pay attention to Serena doing the crip walk?
Yes. Oh my God. So like, what a surprise.
That was
But
fucking great. She
so
looked
the-
great, by the
so
way.
this contextually, this made sense because Serena was dating Drake,
Yes.
and then
SZA was dating Drake too.
Yeah. So he really just brought out like the whole,
Yeah. All the shade.
you know,
All
yeah.
the shade, all the petty was out for everyone to watch.
Right.
But I'm hearing that it's like the worst halftime show in 10 years.
So many people are saying that, and I don't agree with it at all.
Oh, it's
at
good?
all. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
The fucking thing they did with the American flag with the guys.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Sick. Now,
Hmm.
sure, are there other shows that were maybe better? Maybe, but
Usher had a lot of viewership. Was Usher good?
I don't remember.
I
Last
remember.
year's? No.
I wanted to watch
Oh, he
Kendrick.
was
I
last
liked
year?
Kendrick. I liked the whole feud. I thought it was funny,
Yeah.
and so I was invested. But I didn't-
Yeah.
by the time that came along, oof, even if I watched it like this, I don't think I was, there.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Pretty fucked up by then. But I got home.
Yeah. Did you? So you didn't watch the Super Bowl, Graham?
I did not.
Of course
Interesting.
he didn't, but he could probably tell you the stats.
Oh yeah. You got like
You got the stats from
email
it?
I know
digest.
Kansas City got smushed 40-22.
Uh-huh. I didn't know that.
I know Jalen Hurts went right to Disney World. He was there all day on the
Wow.
roller coasters,
He's a stud.
loving it.
Yep.
No, I don't think I can tell you stats. I just think that they
You know
got
the
routed and it
basics.
was unexpected, right?
Uh-huh. Well, I took the Eagles.
I also know some guy put $5 million on him. Some not so big rapper put $5 million on him. He's lost and was like crying about it.
Well,
Can
yeah.
you imagine putting a $5 million bet on a win and know you're going to lose after like the first quarter?
No.
Oh,
That'd be the worst fucking 36 minutes plus commercials of all time.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, and then, of course, we have to talk the commercial. The Atlanta Bouncers had Jaume,
how many times did it play?
Cedarquist.
The
I don't know, but it was
Michelob
like apparently
Ultra.
the third highest rated commercial of the Super Bowl.
It was well done.
That was well done.
Did you see Paris Todd said she didn't know the two famous actors in it?
It's amazing. It was
She's too
it's
young.
William
Yeah, she's
Dafoe and Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, both great.
Yeah.
Both great.
Yeah.
Love Dafoe.
I love O'Hara
She's amazing. Yeah.
from Schitt's Creek. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's so
yeah.
fucking good.
God.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Paris, check out Schitt's Creek. You're gonna like her.
I don't know if that's
I
up her
agree.
alley.
All right. So next up, you got Dallas. Right?
I go right back to Arizona to Mesa.
Oh, Mesa.
The site of the greatest MLP event of all time.
For this weekend?
I leave on Monday.
Oh, gotcha.
And who you got?
And, you know, it's funny. So Elise and I have decided that we miss each other dearly.
Oh,
And the events that we didn't have, we're going to play.
hell yeah.
Oh, so you got the
So-
okay.
I got the okay.
Does that mean she had to drop players for
No,
you?
basically she had a good partner. She was playing with Todd, and you know I had good partners as well. And it was just like, hey, we're gonna play the whole year together. We really want to get this started. Would you mind if we did the switcheroo? And I mean, we just I think it's I don't think it's bad towards anyone. Todd fought. You could argue is better than me. So it's like it's whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But for Elise and I, it's big because we were just ready
The
to get
chemistry
started.
was there.
Yeah, we were ready to get started. We want to play. You know,
Yeah.
like we're having fun.
Hell yeah.
And so we were just like, fuck it, let's just do it.
Nice. You didn't have to get your boombox out and stand outside. Like, you know.
That is something I would do, actually.
Yeah.
I'm a pathetic, hopeless romantic.
And then obviously you and Donald paired up for the rest of the year, right?
Yeah, the only tournament as of now is the Florida event. He's actually going to Necker Island for a tennis thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Okay.
so I'm playing with Blaine Hovenier there,
Oh,
who I
cool.
think is also on the up and up.
Nice. Dope.
Yeah.
And then are you going to keep going with singles or no? What's the deal with that?
I won't play too much, but I'll play here and there. I think it's good for me, to be honest. Obviously, with my knee, I'm not the best mover,
Yeah.
but I think it's good for my psyche and like to get a good workout and to feel the ball. And
Yeah.
you know, if I pull a win or two, great. If I don't, I
Yeah.
got to hit balls in a semi-pressure situation.
Right.
But you know, I'm not very formidable currently.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel this way, Luke, or not, but we might be too good for 3-0 in tennis.
I actually think that
You probably are.
you think we should just go in 3-0 and just kick ass, or you think we should upgrade to 3-5 and just
I don't know.
risk it?
What kind of tournament player are you?
No, man, I crumble.
you-
I crumble
Do you
under
have an
pressure.
ego? Do you have an ego? Or
That is the question. Is once those bright lights go on, guys, at the local park here in
HCC,
Palmetto,
Ardmore.
can you
Yep.
guys handle it?
I don't
I
know.
know
if
I can. I'm a pressure guy.
You know what? I would argue that, but I never forget the Daytona Center Court thing. You
That
were
was
a
tough.
Fucking magician. No, you were great.
Oh,
You
gotcha.
don't remember? We played.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle
Yeah,
and
got myself juiced.
Kyle and what's
Danny Warfel.
Danny Warfel, and you were
Heisman Trophy winner.
very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Guys, thanks for listening to Bad Calls.
Yes.
It's official. We're doing it.
Perfect. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, we will see you guys next week. Let us
Love
know
it.
in the comments if you want to change the name.
Yeah, please let us know. Is it balls? No. Is it
Bad
back of the rack?
calls.
Still
Yeah.
a fan, but I do like bad calls.
Bad
Agreed.
We make a lot of them.
Yeah,
It's
for
true.
sure. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.